Demonstrations and riots spread in Turkey during the last week. The background for that is the arrest of the mayor of Istanbul, Akram Imam-Oğlu. Oğlu, a politician in Turkey, is considered to be the major rival of President Erdogan. In fact, Oğlu announced it is planning to run against Erdogan. Following that, Erdogan ordered to arrest Oğlu under the suspicion of involvement in corruption. That has ignited a significant outcry in Turkey, sending to the streets millions of people, most of whom young people. Analysts observe that significant fact, saying that it indicates the growing discontent, anger, and frustration within the young generation in Turkey. This is the outcome of combination of factors: the increasing economic crisis in Turkey, the feeling of many young people that their rights are being suffocated and oppressed by the regime, and the demand to enable a free expressions of opinions and politics. This is not the first time President Erdogan is using dictatorship moves in order to suffocate or to oppress his rival. He did it in the past and likely will do it again in the future. However, the magnitude of the riots and demonstrations results in basically raised the question whether this time Erdogan was misreading the public opinion in Turkey. Erdogan, of course, still enjoys a very massive support across Turkey, particularly in the rural areas and within the most traditional conservative parts of the Turkish society. However, it will be very interesting to see how this current situation will evolve. The Turkish police already arrested hundreds of people. Erdogan himself argued in the parliament that the protesters used violence against the police. To justify his argument, he shared a video allegedly showing violence of the protesters. The issue is that that is a video that was taken from a violent protest in Georgia, not in Turkey. Interesting enough, on Friday was the International Day of Al-Quds. Al-Quds is the Arabic name of Jerusalem. Normally, this is a day that has been mostly led by the Mullah regime in Tehran and basically has been mentioned or marked in different Muslim capitals across the world. One of them is Turkey. Back then, it used to be a day where actually you could see many people out there on the streets demonstrating their identification and solidarity with the Palestinians, and also at the same time expressing animosity towards both Israel and the United States. However, interesting enough, in the context of Turkey, last night or yesterday, on Friday, there has been some sort of like marking of the Al-Quds Day in Istanbul, but it was a very, very mild and small demonstration, basically representing a couple of people holding the flags of Hamas and Hezbollah. It is not clear whether the Turkish regime was hoping to organize such a big demonstration. If that was the case, it would be more likely that it would be able to do that. But apparently, the regime did not organize, hence the very small scale of that demonstration. Apparently, Erdogan regime is right now much more concerned with the challenge it is facing due to growing discontent and demonstration across Turkey. Definitely something to continue and to follow very closely. Thank you for watching.